At the opening round of the 2018 AMA Pro ATV Motocross Championship, the big number 44 Chad Wienen showed the determination to try and get his #1 plate back. He wrestled the lead away from the new champ Joel Hedrick at the Daytona ATV Supercross. While the battle raged behind him, he overcame mistakes of his own to take the Daytona ATV Supercross victory. Battles raged throughout the legendary Daytona International Speedway as Jeffrey Rastrelli and Nick Janusa fought for the podium. Then Thomas Brown made a late race charge on his Yamaha. A variety of contenders all looking hungry and ready, but no one more prepared than Wienen, who wants to take his title back in 2018. Who will answer the call today? It's round 2 at South of the Border.
Hello, Pedro. South of the Border, a legendary tourist trap on I-95. For anyone going from north to south and headed to Disney World, this is the halfway point, but they've also built an amazing motocross track here, and it is the host for round 2 of the ATV National Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, presented by CST Tires. And there are the best ATV motocross machines in the game being prepped for racing today. Look at the tires on Zach Kaczmarek's machine. Good sandy soil here on this track. The riders like it. There's Brett Musik's number 209. Hayden Mickelson, a rookie, 135. Wesley Wolf, one of the most versatile young riders out there. Parker Wawerka. Oh, and there's the 44 of Chad Wienen. The big man from Galena, Illinois, got back into victory lane at Daytona at our opener. Wants a title back this year. Let's talk to him.
Coming up Daytona with a big win in the first round, and here we are in South Carolina at SOB, and man, it's a little bit cooler temperatures, which I'm not quite used to, but you know, we're staying warm, and the sun's kind of popping in and out today, but you know, we're just looking forward to it. We got the red plate, and we're going to try and retain that this weekend, and feeling really good on the machine. Track conditions are actually looking really good. A lot different than what I'm used to riding in Florida. It looks like a lot more hooked up, a little more clay, so we're going to try and get our setup in our YFZ 450R dialed today, and to see what we can do.
Now, Wienen always quick at the opener in Daytona. Meanwhile, Joel Hedrick has been snake bit at that race before. He was happy with the podium.
What's up, guys? We're here at round 2 of the ATV Motocross, South of the Border. It's a new track. Looks pretty cool. No one's ever really been here before. I'm pretty excited. It looks hard packed, which is definitely one of my better tracks that I'm good at. So looking forward for a couple good hole shots and hopefully, you know, tighten it up again with the points. I'm 3 points down right now. Daytona was half points for us, so ended up second there. And, you know, we're pushing for a win or two here. And, you know, I'm just looking for 2 solid motos and a good qualifying time to start out the weekend.
Well, we'll see how that qualifying goes. We'll have it next. We'll go ATV Motocross Racing. Yeah, get the jackets on. A little cold here south of the border in South Carolina. ATV Motocross is brought to you by CST Tires, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Maxxis. Qualifying set to go here. We're going to rip it up indeed with our CST qualifiers. This will serve as both practice and time qualifying for the riders. Chad Wienen out there on that 44 Wienen Motorsports Yamaha. Series points leader right now. And then Joel Hedrick. Wow, nice little wheel tap over those rollers there for Hedrick, who's always quick in qualifying. Let's check in on some other riders. Jeffrey Rastrelli, yeah, running the hoodie out there in this cold morning practice. Rastrelli getting closer and closer to running that pace and maybe dethroning Wienen and Hedrick at the top. Hey, Nick Janusa out of New Jersey on the Chin USA machine. You can always pick out Ronnie Higgerson with those distinctive white front wheels. Wesley Lewis on the number 79 coming through. Zach Kaczmarek on the 41. Dylan Tremellin here on the 940. And you will not miss Drake Coling on that neon-colored 798. A couple other riders to watch here. That's Mickelson again, a rookie. Sammy Rowe, 38. Wesley Wolf on the 741. And the number 9 is Parker Wawerka. Here's your results. Hetrick with the fastest qualifying times. Wienen right behind him. And like I said, Rastrelli continues to be the man knocking on the door. Wawerka and Kaczmarek, though, good showings inside the top 5. All right, so Jeff Rastrelli could today be that breakthrough day. He's getting closer and closer to getting a victory. Had that good run through some traffic to finish 3rd at the Daytona race, our opener a week ago. Let's check in with Jeffrey.
Just really excited to get on the podium last round at my home race in Daytona. You know, just the year prior I threw it away, ended up finishing 17th, I believe, and you know, it means a lot to me to get on the podium there in front of my friends and family, and of course the fans. And you know, I've been working really hard to get that top spot, but you know, I just got to keep it consistent and stay in that points chase. You know, I have tracks I'm strong at, and I have tracks you know, I'm a little weaker at, but you know, none of us know how we're going to stand here, considering this is our first time here. So. It's going to be a good weekend, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now we're ready to roll with our motos. Yeah, jacket's still on, but the action is going to heat up once we drop the gates at south of the border. ATV Motocross is brought to you by CST Tires, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Maxxis. Last minute prep and warm up for the riders. We are ready for the first moto here out south of the border, MX round 2 of the ATV National Motocross Championship. Ronnie Hickerson with the Rocky Mountain ATV MC helmet cam. Here we go. Wienen with the inside in the start. Several other riders bumped out. Hickerson with the helmet cam showing you what it's like at mid-pack. I think that's Hetrick, though, right behind Wienen, so we got a good setup. Kaczmarek on the 41 battling with Hetrick. Wawerka there also, then Rastrelli. So some of the young guns going to try to challenge the establishment. That's what you love to see in racing. Can they hang all the way to the end? Rastrelli behind Wesley Wolf right now. Here's Wienen with Hetrick right behind him, just the way you want it. See these two get off the gates together and settle the score. Kaczmarek not going anywhere, running the pace. Here's Rastrelli. He's trying to make some moves, but these kids are not making it easy on him. Kaczmarek riding so well there in 3rd. Now we got a battle brewing for the lead. Hetrick wants to make the pass on Wienen. I don't know what it is about that opener at Daytona. You just never see the best of Joel Hetrick there. This is a strong performance, though, as he puts the heat on Wienen. He's on that Wienen Motorsports Yamaha. Hetrick on the Rockford Fosgate Honda, chasing this Wienen Motorsports Yamaha. And Wienen starting to pull away a bit. Back on board, this is Nick Janusa. Oh! And the 741 of Wesley Wolf off the track just in front of him. Hope Wolf is okay. A position picked up for Janusa, who had a terrible start of this moto. Back to the leaders. And how about Hetrick actually making up ground in the rollers by using those wheel taps? Normally you get to anything with rollers or whoops, and it is all the domain of the 44. But right now Hetrick is closed back in. Can he find an opening? Gonna run it around the outside. Tried to switch back underneath, but Wienen had it covered. This is Rastrelli working on Wawerka. And still your leaders, no change in the order, but it is close. It is fun to watch these two push the pace like this. Wienen almost a wheelie coming out of the corner, was putting that power down so hard. And the track conditions holding up pretty good here. We did hear Hetrick before the race saying it looks like it'd be pretty hard pack, and it's getting shiny in spots. But they have it prepped up pretty good. This is hard and slick. Oh, and look at Wienen through those rollers. Beautiful there. And able to relieve a little bit of the pressure. Let's see if Hetrick can get the drive. Rastrelli have the line here on Wawerka. Whoa, that got close. Still, this is one of the best motos we've seen Wawerka turn in, regardless of where he finishes. Wienen pulling back away from Hetrick. So there you see Rastrelli did make the move on Wawerka, And now he's trying to get Kaczmarek for third, and Kaczmarek off the track. Rastrelli saying, thanks very much, guys. He'll take the podium spot. I don't think he has time to track down these two. The question is, which one of them is going to win it? Meanwhile, Janusa chasing down Wawerka. Oh, it comes up short. ATV Motocross is brought to you by CST Tires, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Maxxis. Well, you saw just before we went to break a gigantic crash. Let's take you through this. It's actually Wawerka, he bogs, he can't clear the jump. That leads Janusa to not clear it. Ronnie Hickerson goes for it and hits, watch, over the top of Janusa, but amazingly, we are hearing that Nick is okay. He's out of this moto for sure. Wawerka, I think, is a little bit freaked out. He just got passed by Thomas Brown. That whole situation was nutty, and now Drake Colling has gone down on that very distinctively colored machine we were talking about earlier. So this has turned into a battle of attrition. And also, not much of a battle for the lead. I'm surprised. Hedrick was putting some serious heat on Wienen, but Wienen now getting away. So that Daytona event, no fluke. Chad Wienen is back with a vengeance after finally losing his championship last year. White flag is out in Moto 1. We'll see if Hedrick or anyone can answer him the second half of the day, Moto number 2. But right now, this isn't just hype, it's reality. Chad Wienen is determined to get his championship back in 2018. And he is absolutely on rails on that Yamaha right now. There you see Colling off the side of the track. Good to see him standing up under his own power. Back on board with Rastrelli, who's looking for third. And we even hear that Nick Janusa, who had that huge crash, is trying to prepare to come back and race Moto 2. So that's good news all around. But especially good news if you're a fan of Chad Wienen, has this thing on lockdown. So south of the border, a new track of the ATV National Motocross Tour, but it will host a familiar winner. Chad Wienen takes Moto 1. Thomas Brown, a terrible start for Ford, the head of Hickerson. Now we're moving toward Moto number 2. Not much time to get re-prepped and re-racked. The good news is with the low temperatures today, though, not nearly as much energy expenditure, and the recovery not such a big situation. Rastrelli with that Rocky Mountain helmet cam again. Here we go. Powering into turn 1, and this time Hedrick has the whole shot. Rastrelli right there, and Nick Janusa is back after getting landed on in the first moto, starting third. Thomas Brown busting past him to take that third place spot away. Good to see Brown with a good start. Haven't not seen a lot of that as of late. He has been doing big work from deep in the pack. So now Rastrelli and Hedrick going to duel for the lead. Where is your first moto winner, Wienen? Wow, that's about 10th place as he came over that tabletop, and he couldn't even jump it because there's so much traffic back there. So this is the opportunity that Rastrelli has been waiting for. One of the contenders in the back. Now he's just got to deal with Hedrick. Could today be a day of breakthrough for Rastrelli? Is in position to do it. But tracking down Joel Hedrick is a tall order. Looks like it'd be pretty hard pack, and it's getting shiny in spots. But they haven't prepped up pretty good. This is hard and slick. So hard to get out of that corner clean and straight as you get into those rollers. The solid rear axle on these ATVs, if you hit those jumps at an angle, man, it hurts. So you got to get straight out of the corner. There's Brown in third, trying to stay in touch with Rastrelli. Those two have had some great battles the last few years. Another good start for Wawerka, who's now ahead of Janusa. Then it's Hickerson, Kaczmarek, and then the 44 of Wienen. Rastrelli still keeping the heat on Hedrick. Hedrick could get the overall today if he wins this moto, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. Whoa, and almost off the track for last year's champ. Hedrick on the Rockford Fosgate Tylube Honda. It is the JB Racing machine of Rastrelli right behind him. And you really see with this helmet cam how they push the limits on traction, just barely getting into the line they want. Looks like it'd be pretty hard pack, and it's getting shiny in spots. But They have it prepped up pretty good. This is hard and slick. Beautiful there, and able to relieve a little bit of the pressure. Let's see if Hetrick can get the drive. It's great to watch the elite do their thing here today at south of the border. Hetrick trying to inch away, doesn't need to pull away in feet or meters or yards, just slowly trying to distance himself from Rastrelli. Rastrelli is hitched a ride, really pulling away. Normally, like I said, great battles between he and Brown with that third place start. I was ready for them to engage in that, but right now they've got a little distance on him. There is Wienen, so he's got work to do. A podium in this moto, that could be a tall order. Back up front, Hetrick and Rastrelli continue to shadow each other. Looks like Hetrick has increased the gap. Higgerson, he's buried in this battle right now. There goes Wienen to the inside. He's dealing with Janusa and Wawerka, and the champ, the multi-time champ, says, I'll take advantage of that. Thank you, I need points. So Joe Hetrick now finds things rolling his way, both in the race for today's overall, but also in the championship, and get right back in there with Wienen if he wins today's overall. Brown comes by, then Wienen not giving up. He's off the racetrack trying to make a move on Janusa. I cannot believe Janusa is even out here. Supposedly not even really banged up from that crash in the first moto. He was inches away from what could have been a disaster. So he's okay. I got to think mentally maybe a little bit shaken up, but still riding very well and keeping Wienen behind him. Back up front, Hetrick and Rastrelli continue to shadow each other. Here is Wienen looking to make a move. Can he find an opening on Janusa? And opening up a bit is the gap between Hetrick and Rastrelli. Whoa, Hetrick a little sideways into those rollers. There's Wienen down to the inside. He's finally found the opening he was looking for. Parker Wawerka is next on his list. ATV Motocross is brought to you by CST Tires, by Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com, and by Maxxis. Big battle. Thomas Brown and Chad Wienen, these guys good friends, off the track. Off the track. On it, Wienen has to do what he has to do, and he found an opening and made surprisingly short work of Brown, who is a veteran and normally knows how to cover the lines, but if you want to force it, you can make things happen, and that's what Wienen did. I don't think there's even enough time to even challenge Rastrelli for second, let alone to try to salvage today's overall win against Hetrick. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he does have time to at least get Rastrelli. And this is what Wienen does, man. He has been so consistent the last few years, and that's the ingredient that Hetrick needed to dial in last year to finally unseat Wienen as the champion of this series. Hetrick has had the speed the last 3 or 4 years. Last year was the first season he was able to avoid the big crashes. He had a few stumbles early in the year, but was able to get points out of those days, just like Wienen did today with the bad start. And Wienen does not give you much daylight. Hetrick's going to be happy to get the win. This could be even a rare third-place finish for Wienen. Rastrelli trying to play spoiler here. We talked about it at the top of the show, the 28 getting closer and closer to running the pace and being able to beat these guys in the motos. This could be an example right here if he can hold off Wienen to the end. I know Chad didn't have the good start, but Rastrelli really fast early, maintaining the pace of Hetrick and taking advantage. Whoa, off the side of the track on that landing. Really pushing the limits. Oh, you know he wants this second place finish so badly. Meanwhile, what can you say about Hetrick? A phenomenal performance. ATV Riders Top Qualifier Award. Doesn't get that first Moto win, but a great bounce back in Moto 2. Oh, it's coming down to the wire. Wienen is looking for an opening. And Rastrelli just able to put the tires out in front of him. Through the rollers. Oh, he's got to hear that Yamaha behind him. Got the Honda working, needs to cover the line. He takes a look over. Wienen's gonna try to dive in deep, and he does! He's gonna steal second. Oh, with just a few turns to go. Look at Jeffrey trying to get him back, running it right up on the grab bar. On the edge of control. He's got to be so frustrated. Oh, kick sideways on the takeoff of that one. So a great battle, but long behind this man. Joel Hetrick is back on top in ATV Motocross. A big win here in the second moto and gets the overall win and salvages second. Oh, Rastrelli has to be bummed. Here's the winner, Joel Hetrick.
2-1 for the overall. Finally got a win. I'm super stoked on the win. Definitely happy with South of the Borders track and looking forward to Texas next round. So see how it goes. I want to work hard and try to get this red plate back.
My Maxxis tires on my Yamaha were ripping really good, and a lot of grit in that second moto, and I was able to get a second overall and continue with the points lead. And heading into Texas, we got a short break, and we're going to try and get back on top there.
You know, that last moto, I lost second place the last lap to Wienen, which, you know, upsets me a little, but just puts more fuel in the fire to go out and train harder and get better finishes for this next race. And, you know, we'll just go home and keep working and keep at it. And just I'm getting closer and closer, so looking forward to Texas.
Not letting it get him down. Here's your quick Maxxis race recap. Great start for Wienen, bad start for some others. Got bumped outside of turn 1 in Moto 1. Looked like Hetrick was about to try to make a move early. Couldn't make it happen, then watch this. Janusa comes up short and gets landed on. Show it to you again by Ronnie Higgerson, but he was actually okay. Will return for the second moto, second half of the day. Wienen takes the Moto 1 win over Hetrick. But Hetrick gets this great start ahead of Jeff Rastrelli in Moto 2. A bad start for Wienen. And Nick Janusa, by the way, after that big crash, getting landed on back in this one. Thomas Brown starts third. There's Wawerka, Janusa, Higgerson, and finally Wienen. But the 44 was able to push his way through traffic, doing everything he could off the track, on the track, finding new lines. No chance he was going to win the overall today, but every point counts. And then he gets Jeff Rastrelli in his sights in the final lap and takes second away. But the damage done, Joel Hetrick wins it. We're looking at a potential showdown at our next race, Underground MX in Texas. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching and congrats to our winner, Joel Hetrick.